Hello everyone, welcome back to the kingdom. And last time we were looking at a automated sugarcane farm using bud switch detection, and I've kind of finished the design in creative and I'm starting to build it now. So I thought I'd give you a little update on what I've been doing so far. And this pumpkin farm needs to be linked up to a really long timer, which I did a little video on. Probably going to use a villager and some shift register stuff, which I need to learn first actually, to do some really super long timers, so like half an hour maybe, or even longer, because this produces an awful lot of pumpkins, and for my design of my farm I've picked to design, I'm going to need quite a few layers of it to actually be able to keep up with this pumpkin farm going off every, say, 5-10 minutes. So it's either having that gigantic or this less often. And going on the food side, I went and made a few little pumpkin pies, and to be honest, I've got so many pumpkins here already. I've got chests and chests and chests worth that they'll last me quite a long time just with that, so this doesn't need to go off very often at all, and at the moment I could last for a long time on them without even needing to turn this on. So the sugarcane farm is definitely the bottleneck. I'll just show you here what I've done anyway. So when I do want to put this on automated mode, I just lower these trapdoors, I move this lever here, and then I activate it. So then the timer can activate this on and off. It doesn't have to be me. And all they will do is go down here, and if you look down there, that goes down to an ice pathway, so the super speed pathways, so they can get out quickly. And they go all the way along here to a portal. Now the portal is around here, I think, just a normal nether portal, and to my surprise, oh, that one sprayed over here, to my surprise and delight, the portal actually goes to my AFK stream for my iron farm and my mob spawns. So that portal over there, and the one down in the base down there also, and this one here, all connect to the same point on the other side, which, considering my nether portal room is just over there, it's pretty nice to have. So all of my drops go to one area, and so will these as well, because what I've done here, if I get on top, I'll give you a little look at this. I need a couple more blocks here. I have got a jump to boost there, so that's why I'm jumping around nicely. So all I've done here is I've designed a crosshair design. You can do this more space efficiently, but I think this is going to look really cool when it's done, and to be honest, that's what I'm going for. I love looking at other cool things, so the theme this time is sandstone, and just want to match it in. Got my little nether half slabs, which are quite cool in the snapshot. And what I've got here, I'll explain quite briefly, try and keep the video as short as I can. This goes down, same concept of the other place. Water goes that way, you can see underneath here. Half slabs there, go underneath, water stream then goes that way. Goes to the portal. That's simple. And then if I probably don't want to jump in there actually at the moment, I'll look from here. They've got water stream going along the bottom, and you can't have it all the way along in one stream, so it does go down one and then carries on. So you can get all the way to the edge. The actual farm spots, they're 13 along for the soil, and then I've got some wiring to do at the end. So that's maximum I can do with the redstone, because I have 13 redstone here, and then I have 2 more going into the bud switch system. So it's maximum it will travel with 15, so here's the last bucket of power. I'm also going to add in, if I got any, nope, I'm going to add in some cool little features. So I'm going to do little redstone lamps, so that when they get activated, then they'll glow, give a little flicker of light. I'm going to do that on the ends as well, just to make it a little bit more exciting. So all this goes down to central point, that's fine. And then, as we saw last time, you can hydrate it enough, well, I say hydrate it. For sugarcane you need to have water next to it, so this fulfills that even though it's suspended in midair. So I can do lots and lots of levels of this, and I don't need to have the water running onto anything, it just has to be next to them. And I've picked a 2 wide one. I did testing on a 1 wide one, and basically if I had the sugarcane on the top here and there wasn't any blocks on top of them, then when it got pushed off they would have upwards momentum as well as sideways momentum. So basically they were kind of getting stuck on the same bit of soil and not going off. This way I did some tests and they had a high yield. You could say you could do 3 high, but like I said again, you could have 2 rows of pistons. It would be more efficient, but this one was high yield. So basically, if you haven't seen the last one, for the end one here, when that one there grows up to there, then it will harvest that row. So it doesn't need to be super sensitive or anything else. I don't need to wait for it to go 3 high. It will just harvest it pretty often. So yield loss won't be that much. And this is the best configuration I came up with. And also this is a 2 wide instead of a 1 wide because squids in here. Because I found that when they were being pushed off on a 1 wide, the momentum from these, when they get broken like so, were going all the way over to the other dirt, which didn't leave the system, which was not good. So this time I picked a 2 wide design. So it's similar to what I did before on my test world, which you haven't seen. And I might show you at the end just for reflection. So what I'm going to do now is set up the wiring, and I'm just going to pause and then get ready to do the bud switch at the end. Okay, I set up one side already of this one. I'll just make it again for you. So sticky piston goes on. This is the bud switch detector. So when that piece of sugarcane there grows, then it will activate this, and we'll go along. I'll just replicate this because change it slightly differently to what I had before. Before I had 1 block in the middle with 2 redstone torches either side. Can't do that because it's slightly bigger for this version, and I lump these on. So these ones will flash when it's activated individually, just because this block will move out here. The block will then conduct the redstone, so then move out, and the redstone will conduct into the block, which will then turn on the lamp. And I won't do it right now because I'll activate that side. So this will then be transferred up, so that goes then to a half slab with a repeater on it. I can just do a piece of redstone, and in fact that's what I did on my other design, so I will. I'm not really bothered about saving resources, but I know a lot of people get annoyed when I don't do the most efficient resources. This block will go on top, so I can do that, and then redstone torch goes on top of that. This then goes to the bud part, so this basically has to activate the rest of it, and that comes out there, if I can get it on the right level. And so basically this bit is what turns that piston into a bud switch. So stupid half slab glitch, I hate it. I hate it. So there we are. Basically you need power coming from either a diagonal above or directly above, but a space in between. So what this does here, this power comes around, goes into the top of the piston, into the above one, turn into a bud switch. So now if that's activated, it will turn to a bud and push the block. And now we want to then connect it up to the actual farm. So a repeater comes here, and then I've got a full block that I have to power. And then this will then go up a half slab, so it doesn't interfere with the pistons. And there you're up. And that's it done. So we can test that now. And it's nice and neat, and I have put one extra thing into this one in the other side, and that is just putting a redstone lamp on top. And that means that one's always powered until it actually activates. When it activates, that one flickers off and then back on again. In that time, these ones will light it up. Nothing is spawned on them in the meantime, but there should be enough light in there to stop mobs spawning. So we'll just force activate one of these ones. And with those sugarcane farms, you do normally lose a lot of sugarcane. You normally lose it on the actual plants itself, but as long as some goes through, and it's all AFK, so I'm not really too bothered by it. And if I just want to break that side to update that, there you are. See, at least half of it goes across, but like I said, with all sugarcane farms, there aren't really any efficient ones apart from if you destroy the bottom bits and to push it all out. But no, it's good enough, and I'm going to do quite a few layers of this, I think, so you won't really see the effect of being inefficient. So I'm going to get on now and finish up the wiring for this whole bit on the first layer, and I'll just give you a progress update in a bit. So there we are, first layer finished, lights on top and lights in the middles, so these also go off when either that one goes off or that one goes off. And just to make sure this is working fine, I've gone around and checked all of the circuits, so just place that on there. See that most of them go into the water and they go quickly down to the AFK stream. So I'm going to now put another layer on, and in my test one I did 3 layers I believe, and I might do more than that on this one. Oh, an automatic one just went off, so it does work. I might want to make it that sort of scale. It does use up a lot of pistons though. This does, it's 13 each side, so it's 26 on each arm, 104 on each layer. So it's 104 pistons plus the extra 8. So it's quite a few pistons to go, a few more than them. Equivalently, if I had the same amount of space on that as I did on this, I need 7 layers of these. Yeah, about 7 layers of these, which could probably be done actually. Probably, maybe not all today. So I'm going to go on and do another layer now, and then we'll start looking at its output, I think, a little bit. It'll only be a small scale of what we're going to be getting up to, but give a general idea of how we're going to get there. So, back in a bit. So, the first, second layer are finished. I think it's looking pretty good now. On my test world, I did up to 3 layers. And I'm going to do a lot more than that on this design. I don't know if I'll go that high, but it's starting to look pretty good. I didn't want to put too much nether brick in, because it kind of overpowers it. I'm not sure if that's looking okay. I like the ones on the edges, and I would like to put half slab in there somewhere. So I could always change that anytime, doesn't matter anyway. So I've been doing a few harvests. Well, it's been harvesting itself, obviously. No time needed for that, only this needs a timer, maybe, if I decide to actually put one in the end. Other than having a several hour one, I could always have a really long stretched out timer, or I could have an automatic one, so when I run over certain doors and things it would harvest. Say as I came into the base or go out the base, I could have a long redstone track going somewhere else. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, this is looking pretty good now. I'm going to keep doing a few more layers I think today. And I do have a question for you guys, and that's about my gold farm that I wanted to make. I mentioned this quite a while ago now, and I've been doing quite a few little designs, but for ease of use and efficiency, they're best to be on top of the nether. Now you can get on top of the nether legitly with ender pearls. I have a feeling though they may fix that soon, or we will know soon if they won't fix it. So either way, I don't know if I should go ahead and build that gold farm soon, or if I should clear out an area underneath the nether, as in underneath the bedrock layer, and have it in the normal area. Not quite sure, so I'd like to hear thoughts on that. To be honest, I wouldn't mind building an over the nether one and just have it for a couple of weeks or even a few days and just farm a ton of gold and get some gold blocks for building, because same as this farm, I use the blocks for building, I don't really use them for anything else. I get plenty enough iron from mining, I don't need it for armor and things. So I'm going to carry on with this, and yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, the farm is done, for now at least. It's got 5 layers, at 106 a layer, so that's 530 possible spawns a go, and that's if they all grew when they got harvested. Doesn't really matter, just 530 spaces where they can grow. And I thought I'd give you a little look around. So this is from this view, and this is from this view, and of course the beacon will be moved very shortly. I've got to think of places to put it. I've got quite a few of them I can do, and I will have quite a few over at Sky Fortress, but I've got to think of somewhere to put them discreetly around here without making it look really out of place. Probably around the iron farm somewhere to make it look like it blends in. And off to the last direction. There you go. And I'm really pleased with how this looks. I just love the colour mixes between the sandstone, the sugarcane, and little tiny bits of highlighted purple for the nether brick. I think it looks really nice. And it's very satisfying to see the little lights flash when they do harvest. They don't harvest that often, but they normally do harvest quite a lot at each go. And I will go through to nether in a very short while. I'm going to go have a look at the output. I'm not going to do any sort of timing output on it because I'd expect it to come through when it comes through. I'm sure we can follow up later date when it all comes through and to see what kind of rates we get from it, so we can set up our chicken farm for it. But at the moment we have enough chicken eggs to make quite a lot of pumpkin pies, so we won't be doing the chicken bit yet. I'm also tempted to do the chickens at the top of that in like a separate little box, but I don't know yet. I might have it over there, might not, might keep it in the base, although I might want the entity count out of the base. Either way, now I'm going to do a couple of up shots because I'm sure you can tell that I actually really like this one. So I'm going to replant this actually. But basically this is where the old food came from. This was my 1040 wheat farm slash pumpkin farm, or not pumpkin farm, potato farm and carrot farm when they came out. So I can use it for them, and it works very well. Very well indeed. Ooh, there we go. So let's have a look at this. Oh yeah, that looks good. And basically all I've done is carry it up and then half slab the very top of it, and I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. I like it. Now all these farms, there's no point in them just being practical. They gotta look good. Now I can come out in this base here and I can look over there. That's gonna become a giant feature. I've got these gigantic iron farms which go up basically to the sky limit. I just love these massive farms. I have been told quite a few times that my farms are big enough for quite large servers to feed off of. I would definitely agree with that pumpkin farm. That is outrageous. And if I did put melons in that, I probably would crash things with the entity counts. 750 pumpkins bursting all at once. I think you might have a few problems on even the best PCs. So anyway, I think now I've got a little job to do in the end. So I'm going to collect up some materials and I'll meet you there. So I'm in the end. I've done a bit of work already. And as you can see, that was our first house. And I'm here because we indeed have a new donator. Ooh, what happened here? My cactus broke. Do they not work in the end? Ah, maybe a Enderman picked it up. Now that could be a problem. So I'm trying to find different things I can put in this sort of desert oasis that fit in with the materials and the colour scheme. So over here I've built in a little pool, little oasis, got some sugarcane in, got some lights in the bottom, got some random ores in it. I'm not sure about them, but I think they give something towards the rest of it. I'm trying to put a light around everywhere, where I can, because this end is very dark, especially for filming, and having it nice and light is always good, as well as stopping these things spawning. So I've got a little tiny oasis here, just playing around with it really. Got a fire thing here, and a little fire bit under there. Don't worry, I'm just playing with them at the moment. And a long time ago, some people may remember that I did different lights and I asked for opinions on them, and I do quite like the middle one still, but this gives out more light, and I thought of this earlier and I thought, now that looks quite good, I'll do that. So I removed a pillar here and I had time just to play around right next to it. So that's what I've come up with. I think I'll do all of them like that, or very similar, just because it gives out so much light and it's not very bulky. And no, the tree burnt down a while ago and that needs to be removed, so lots of clearing up needs to be done here eventually. And this is something I just want to be doing a bit by bit now and then, and just eventually I'll build it up. I'll probably do the sand temple in the middle sometime, and then just build the houses around it. It'd be nice once I got that all mapped out. These Enderman noises, I wish you could turn them off for filming. So this is the next house for our next donator, and I'm not sure really where I'm going with it at the moment. So I'm going to be doing a bit more playing around with this and see what I can come up with. But that's to give you a little update for the before bit, and I'll see you after. And here we are. The mob has arrived. I went and broke all the doors in spawner, so they've all rushed over here now, because these are the only doors in the map, on the end anyway. So they're visiting the new houses. They're quite liking them, it seems. A lot of them seem to be a bit lost, but this should function as a door. Yep, functions as a house. So this is the new house, and we give thank you for Kamikaze. That's a correct pronunciation of that, I guess. And thank you for that. Oop, didn't mean that. So I went ahead and built something a bit different. To try to do something a little bit different to what I normally do. I use a lot of stairs in this, half slabs, so we've got lighting in the roof. There's actually lighting underneath these as well, although you can't really see it. Nice block in the middle. Got the emerald block on the outside, same as all the ones are going to be, hopefully. Encouraging me to do some trading. Got some seating in the corners, not sure about them, but they look okay, I guess. And some floating glass, which I think actually looks quite nice on the inside. I like how they wrap around. I don't really do much with half slabs and stairs like this, but on top I quite like it. Got these stairs going around here, which is quite annoying to do. And we've got half slabs on the roof, so none of this is spawnable. The aim is obviously to move all of this whole end to non-spawnable area, so that in parts of this I'll be able to replace stuff with sand and that sort of thing that the Enderman would normally be able to remove. And yeah, the Enderman went and kept removing my cactuses. Darn. So yeah, I'd put cactus and things in once I've cleared out the area of Enderman and stop them spawning, but until then I guess I can't use them. So any suggestions of other things I can use in here? Other materials I should be using? No, at the moment I'm using sandstone and sand. No, I'm sure some other materials would be allowed. I tried a bit of wood, but I don't know. Anyway, some ideas would be good. So anyway, that's that house done, I think. I quite like it, to be honest. I did have some ideas for some nice automatic sand doors and things like that, which I designed in creative on my test world, but I came up with a really nice design for it. It was really compact and it worked really well, and then there was some kind of really weird redstone bug in it, which just really annoyed me. And it wasn't even a directional one, it was some sort of crazy one, so it wouldn't work. Not in the directions I wanted it to afterwards. So I might show you that. Actually, I will show you that now. So I'm on my test world, and this is the sort of thing I wanted to do. I wanted to have some sort of room or house or central area, which then I could build a wall inside it, or just have a completely flat land with something popping up from it. So just like so. And obviously this works fine going up, but now going back down, see this one doesn't work over here. But this one here is a double piston, and this one here is a double piston. But that one doesn't work, and that one does, and they're exactly identical. Nothing different at all, but it doesn't come back down afterwards on this one. So they're over here as well. And this is a very strange bug. It's not directional because they do work in both directions, but it seems to be a directional and order bug or something. I don't know how it's working, so I'll show you here. This one works like so. This one here, identical, doesn't work, and identical again, doesn't work. So only the first one in the line going, which direction we're looking, east, works. Same over here, this one works, and that one doesn't. All of the ones on this side work. There's 3 on this side, I think, or 2 on the side, yep, they work fine. It's actually identical, that side and that side. So I don't understand how it's not working, and that made me really sad. I can still do a door or something, just on the side. I could make them tileable, but I didn't really need it tileable. But there you go, it's just annoying that these sort of bugs are in the game, and we are on the 1.4.6 pre-release, so maybe they'll, I don't think they'll do this by, well, they won't do this by the 1.4.6 anyway. They'll be looking at the 1.5 for the Redstone update. So this sort of thing they need to address. But anyway, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, guys, and I'll see you next time.